Hello everyone! I thought it would be good, today being Valentine's Day, to bring you guys a video about relationships. It is important to note, however, that in this video in particular, the relationships that we're discussing do not have to be romantic. This is not necessarily a romantic relationship. This could also be a close friend or a family member. But today we're going to be talking about relationships and what this relationship is bringing into your life. Because of the nature of this reading, because this can apply to all sorts of different relationships, you may be drawn to more than one pile, and that's perfectly fine. As we start to go through it, we're going to describe person A and person B in this relationship. You might be either of those people. You should know as we start to go through, you'll get a sense or a feeling of it. And if you have a certain person, as you choose a pile and we start to read through it and a certain person comes to your mind, it might be that that pile is talking about a different relationship than you were expecting. So just because this is on Valentine's Day that I'm releasing it does not necessarily mean that this is a romantic relationship. Go ahead and take a moment to see which pile you are most drawn to, or take a moment to focus on a relationship that you would like some clarity around, and then see which pile reminds you the most of that relationship. Which pile draws you to think about that particular relationship in your life that you would like to have a little more clarity about. We're going to talk about the people involved in the relationship and what the relationship brings up for them emotionally, physically, and spiritually as well. And then at the end, we're going to take a look at advice for that relationship from the tarot cards. So go ahead and pick between pile 1 with this seashell heart, pile 2 with this tiny little black flower, or pile 3 with the blue heart. Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. Go ahead and jump to that section of the video. In the description down below, I'll have a link to each, and I will see you there. Hello everyone, this is your relationship reading if you chose pile 1 with the seashell heart. First I'm going to go ahead and just lay the cards out for this reading that describe for each person, and then we're going to go through and explain them. So for this reading we have for person A, the persona of the destroyer, and for person B, the persona of the orphan. We have the spirit animal energy of the lamb for person A, and for person B, we have the spirit animal energy of the spider. For the emotions that are brought about in this relationship, for person A, we have resistance. For person B, we have action. For what is growing in this relationship, or what is being harvested, we have refinement for person A, and we have gratitude for person B. And then for the overall soul lesson that's being learned in this relationship, this is the only pile that has 2 separate soul lessons. Most of them, it's one connected one, but for this pile in particular, it's 2 separate soul lessons. We have the divine rebel for person A, and her golden grace for person B. Now, we're going to dig into this a little bit deeper now. I just wanted to lay everything out for this one because the main element of this relationship is dynamic and complicated. Whether it is a romantic relationship or not, this one can actually go either way. But it's complicated, and there's actually 2 separate ways that I'm going to give this reading. There's 2 very clear separate paths that I'm seeing that this might be, so you'll know which one of these applies to you as I begin to describe it. The first situation that we're going to describe, we'll call this the first path. Person A has an element of innocence to them from their past, but this relationship in particular is making them strong in the sense that they feel like they don't have to, it's making them strong in the sense that they don't feel like they have to meet expectations. So person A very well may have been someone who used to be very quiet, very meek, very mild-mannered. And this relationship is bringing about all of the wild divine rebel within them. It is letting them know that they can stand up for what they believe in, and to be unafraid to break things down, to shake things up, to make changes. So in a word, this relationship is making person A strong. Now, this is kind of where those two paths come about. Because this can be either, this is one of those where it's a general reading, so there's a couple different ways this can be interpreted depending on who you are that's listening to this. It can be that this relationship is making you strong in a nurturing way, in a way where you are supported by person B. For some people who are listening to this, that may be the case. Like I said, pile 1, this relationship, this is one of the more, this is actually the most complicated pile. I'm not gonna lie, guys. This relationship is the most complicated to decipher because there are a couple different possibilities. There are several different energies that are drawn to this one. So person A may be learning to be that divine rebel, to be able to stand up for themselves, to be unafraid to tear things down, to step out of this kind of quiet lamb version of themselves by their relationship with person B in a supportive way, or it could be that this relationship challenges person A to the point where they are learning their strength through challenge. So for person A in this relationship, you might be learning this lesson through challenge, or you might be learning this lesson through support. You're gonna know as you hear this, depending on your situation. Either way, this is growing refinement in you. It's bringing you more and more into your true self, because the version of yourself that you were walking through the world with was not a complete version of you. And in this instance, it is bringing you to your true self. Person B in this relationship, the orphan and the spider. Person B has experienced some real loss before, loneliness, pain in this lifetime. But person B is also very wise, very cunning, very intelligent. And again, this is one of those things where this has separate paths for different people listening to this reading. There's going to be some people where this is interpreted one way, some people where this is interpreted the other. For person B in this relationship, I said earlier that person A might be experiencing this energy in the relationship in a supportive way or in a difficult way. If this is a supportive relationship, if the actions that are being taken in this relationship are of a supportive and helpful nature, you'll know as you're listening to this, regardless of which person you are. Are you open and supportive and helping this other person, or are you touching on their fears and causing them to lash out? If you're a person B, or if you're a person A, is this person supporting you through this, or are they touching on your pain points in order to cause you to grow and lash out? Either way, action is initiated in this relationship by person B. And there is an element of gratitude for this relationship. Person B is grateful for this relationship and is growing through it. So, like I said, person B has been through some difficulties where person A is coming from more of a place of naivety and moving away from that. Person B is experiencing the opposite. Person B is coming from a place where they've been hurt before, where they know pain in this world. Yet through their relationship with person A, there are two options here. Either way, this relationship is going to help person B grow in some way and to experience, in the end, it's all going to be okay for this person. Like, it is going to be beneficial. They will be grateful for this relationship, whether it is a supportive and easy relationship or whether it is a difficult one. In the end, person B will be grateful for this relationship. It's going to bring them to action. So person A on one path, person B on one path may have been scared to act before because of the past, because of the ways this person was hurt. They can be scared to act. They can be scared to do what they want. They can almost be immobilized by it. And person B is breaking them out of it, breaking this person away from that fear, from that, being frozen in place. And in the end, person B finds the grace, the love, the connection that they are looking for, whether it is in this relationship or because of this relationship. That is something that person B will find. Now, there is a separate interpretation for this pile yet again. I feel like a lot of people are choosing this one, and I think that's why there's actually many different messages. This one's been a little bit difficult to sort out. So I think a lot of people were really drawn to the aesthetics of this pile, and that's okay. That's totally cool. But there's just a lot of messages here. There is an alternative. We're going to call this path 2 or something. To this relationship, and that's where person A, this destroyer and resistance energy, there are some people listening to this. Again, like I said, a lot of people chose this pile, so there's a lot of different directions this energy is being pulled as I'm interpreting it. For some people who chose pile 1, in this relationship we're discussing, person A acts like they are innocent and acts like they come from a place of innocence, but in truth they are not. In truth, they are someone who is tearing things apart, causing resistance, and rebelling just to rebel, causing a lot of disruption. If that is the case, and if you are hearing that and you're like, oh my gosh, no, that's what resonates with me for this one, then you're one of that group of people. It's okay if you are person A in this sense. I want to say that real quick, and I want to go over that, because it could mean that this relationship, that the pain of the orphan and their cunning combined, the actions that they take, they just stir up these energies with you where you feel like you're being innocent, but really you're the one that's lashing out. And it takes a measure of refinement in that instance to realize that there is a time and there is a place to rebel and to break things up and to separate. And then there is a time and a place. And even though you could be the one that's hurting the other person. So even if you're the person who's kind of acting innocent and yet causing disruption, there's still a reason for that, and you're still learning a lot from being in this relationship. And sometimes that's what you have to learn, is to recognize that you're hurting the other person, even if you don't mean to. There's a lot to this one, you guys. I'm sorry. The other ones aren't going to be quite as broken as this. This pile in particular has a lot to it. In that instance where person A is acting, and again, you're going to know which one of these is yours by the actions that are being taken in this relationship. If person A is acting out in this relationship and is causing disruption, whether intentionally or unintentionally, whether this is a place of subconscious hurt, which it most likely is, person A is going to feel, or person B is going to feel alienated by that. They may feel that they have to take action and be intelligent in order to separate themselves from this relationship. They still will have gratitude for this relationship because there is still a reason for this. Even if this is a painful relationship, like I said, again, this one could go either way. There was a lot to this for some reason, y'all. But even if person A is, or person B is being hurt in this relationship and they have to take action in order to separate themselves from it and to find their own grace, they will still be grateful that this relationship happened because of the wisdom that it brought to them and how much they were able to learn and grow through this relationship. Whew, that was a lot, you guys. I'm sorry, that one was a bit more confusing than most of these are going to be, I swear. Most of the readings that I do are going to be. But there were several different pathways, and I hope that you were able to hear that and resonate and find which pathway was the one that we're talking about for you. Whether you are person A or person B, and whether this is a harmonious relationship that is building each other up in a positive way through your actions, or whether this is a relationship that is causing some resistance, causing some pain, and is helping you grow through that, because we grow through pain too. The advice for this relationship. We have the storm with chaos. We have the pup of leaders with enthusiasm reversed. Enthusiasm reversed, you guys. We have the feminine with abundance reversed. And we have the alpha of leaders with honor. And this is upright. So, like I said, this is a complicated relationship, to say the least. Even if it is done in a supportive way, this is not a relationship where you just feel everything's happy and easy-go-lucky and abundance all the time. There is chaos here. There's things breaking down because they need to. So whether this is happening in a negative or difficult way, or whether it is happening in a supportive growth type of way, there's still going to be a lot of change and a lot of chaos that comes from this relationship, especially on the side of person A. Person A will change throughout the course of this relationship a lot. Not to say that person B won't, but person A is going to go through a lot of change, even though person B will as well. With the pup of leaders reversed, but the alpha of leaders upright. This is like the suit of wands. This is action orientated. So basically what this is saying here is that this relationship is bringing you to a higher level of understanding, especially when it comes to action, and right action, knowing what the right actions are. You can have the best of the intentions in the world, but if you don't know the right actions to take, just the enthusiasm alone, the intention, the enthusiasm, that's not going to get you there. Honor, discipline, knowing the right actions to take is what makes all of the difference. That is going to apply especially to person B with this action card, and the growth and the journey that they're going through with learning to take the right action. It is also going to apply to person A, so don't get me wrong, this applies to both people, but that part of it is going to apply especially strongly to person B. I know that was a lot in this reading, you guys, but I hope that you were able to find what you need from it. For this reading in particular, especially because there were a lot of people that chose this one, and a lot of different kind of ways the energy branched out, please take what resonated and leave what did not from this one, because there was a lot to unpack here and a lot of different options. But I hope that you were able to find the pathway in this and the meaning that was meant for you in this relationship to get some clarity. Regardless of the specifics that I outlined in the various pathways and options, the relationship that you are asking about is one that is complicated, not always easy, causes you to change in a very dynamic way, but in the end is for the betterment and growth of your soul. Thank you so much for joining me today, Pile 1. Hello, everyone. If you chose pile 2 with the little black flower, this is going to be your reading for the relationship in question. First, I'm going to lay out the cards that signify the energies of each person in this relationship, and then we're going to walk through this in a little bit more detail. So we have person A being represented by the persona of the lover, and person B being represented by the persona of the maiden. We have person A being represented by the spirit animal energy of the gazelle, and person B by the peacock. This is the only pile that had 2 cards come up for it for the emotional state. So I want you to know that that is significant. There are a lot of emotions being brought up in this relationship. Person A on this side, the emotions that this is bringing are creation and attraction. And for person B on this side, the emotions that this is bringing are will and abundance. What this relationship is growing for each of these people, what it is growing and creating. I think I need to move these up. I hope I didn't get cut off in pile 1, because I know you can't see that low in this video. I have to move these around just a little. What this relationship is growing in person A is protection, feelings of protection, and person B is love. The overall lesson that is being learned, the soul lesson that's being learned through this relationship, is called From World to World. Okay, so let's break this down. What does this mean, you guys? What does this mean? Obviously, this is the only pile that I will say is most likely 90% has to do with a romantic relationship, because obviously we have so many cards that talk about love and romance in this, and it's on both sides as well. The lover, love, attraction, the maiden. This is a really beautiful reading, you guys. There might be a small portion of people where this is a very loving platonic relationship, where, you know, maybe it's like a, parent and child or something like that. But for the most part, we are just going to interpret this from the standpoint of a romantic relationship, because I think for almost everyone who drew this pile, this really seems to be talking about a romantic relationship specifically. Now, the difference between person A and person B. Person B here is being represented with an air of naivety, where person A is being represented by someone who is a little bit more apt to, has been through different hardships and is maybe a little more apt to run away with this gazelle energy here. Person A, on this side seems to be, again, protection has come up for this one. Person A is protective over person B. And person B is much more innocent, naive, possibly, in this relationship, where person A is very scared of being hurt, but feels very protective over this person. Might want to run away from it a little bit, but is also very drawn into this. Person B has a very attractive, creative personality, but from this relationship, they are learning to exert their own will. They are learning that it's okay to have abundance and to have love. So both of these people may very well have been hurt before and are learning to love together. Person B in that instance is learning that it's okay to be who you are, to exert your own will in a relationship, and that isn't a bad thing. It's okay for you to have abundance and to feel love, and you shouldn't feel lack in a relationship. You should feel supportive. That is what a relationship is supposed to be. This person B is maybe taking a fresh start, trying again, opening themselves up and being vulnerable again in this relationship. And that is why they are appearing with this vulnerability, with this beautiful, loving, yet vulnerable energy. Person A is learning not to run away from this, is learning that they can be protected and also be the protector in a relationship. Both of those elements are kind of coming out there. Creation and attraction. Obviously, attraction with love. Person A is very attracted to person B. They see them as the peacock, which is this beautiful, showy, just gorgeous, creative energy. They may put this person on a little bit of a pedestal sometimes, but that's okay in this particular instance. So note that this person is human. As the relationship grows and develops and progresses, you are going to see their flaws, even if it started out with you putting them on a bit of a pedestal, person A. But this relationship is teaching you that you can create whatever you want, that you really can have the love that you have desired, that you maybe have been denied in the past, or that has been, cheated from you in the past. Maybe you went through a past where you feel like you had to be on guard all the time, with the gazelle especially. But you don't have to be on guard all the time in this relationship. You don't have to always be on guard. You can create a connection that you desire, that you dream of. You can create the connection that you dream of. There was something very specific in this one that I want to bring up. So there is a possibility that person A in this relationship, because of their past wounds, because of their fear, because of their need for protection, they may lash out at person B, seeing them as weaker, as more naive. There's a chance that they may either lash out or they may run away, even if they have love for this person. But most likely, for the most part, for most of the people hearing this, I see this as a very supportive, healing relationship that is healing through old wounds that you've experienced in the past. But there's something specific that I wanted to read to you guys about from this card right here, from World to World, because this is the card that shows what the two people in this relationship are learning on a deeper level, on a soul level, what this relationship means. And it says, there are many times on the spiritual path when we feel we are in circumstances not of our conscious choosing. In fact, we may think there is no way I would have chosen this situation. Perhaps the mind would not. Yet through the frequency of our being, we are attracted to various people, places, and things. If we have healthy self-esteem, we will tend to be attracted to that which uplifts, assists, and inspires. If we are healing issues to do with our self-worth, or can spiritually benefit from an experience of lower vibrational energy to help us on our life journey, we will be unconsciously attracted to that which feels lowering. Those experiences tend to generate fear and negativity, and don't feel good, in that they sometimes can be the motivational push we need to break free of fear, because we simply cannot bear feeling that way anymore. They may also teach us to hold compassion for the suffering of others and inspire us to work in the healing arts. Lowering experiences may also help us find gratitude in our hearts for simple happiness too. However, if there is a more joyful way to learn that, and many times there will be, then why not choose that for yourself? This card right here is really summing up the deepest meaning of this relationship for both people. And there are two different paths that this interpretation can take. One that's going to be for the majority of people. The two people involved in this relationship have been through a lot of pain before. But this relationship is giving them the opportunity to choose an easier way to learn. They may have been through experiences that they look back on and they cannot reconcile with. They cannot understand why they had to go through the pain that they did. And this applies to both people in this. But this is an indication that you have reached a point and a healing relationship that helps you choose an easier path, to see that there is a better way. Now, there is a smaller second path. This is not going to apply to most people, but in the instance where person A lets into that fear and either does the running away or the lashing out, and person B actually at that point needs to step up with their will and come into their own self-love and know that they deserve better. If that means that this relationship has turned toxic, and is hurting the other people, if it's a false type of love, there's still a lot of love and attraction here. That's what makes the second path, although this applies to to only a small portion of the people who are choosing this one. But if it applies to you and you just heard that, then you kind of know it, I think. There's still a lot of love in this relationship, a lot of love regardless. But for some people that are listening to this energy still has the potential that the relationship can turn toxic. And that happens when one person runs away or lashes out against the other, and the second person has to choose themselves, has to choose their own will, has to choose that they can be abundant, and that they don't have to learn through pain anymore. In that case, this is the relationship that is teaching you that you deserve something better, that you can have something better. And that, again, applies to both people. Because if that is the case, if you're listening to this and that is what you're feeling with this, person A still holds a lot of love for person B. It's a sad situation if this is if you are in the version of this that is turned toxic, because the lashing out or the running away, it comes from a place of fear and from feeling like you need to learn through pain, and that you don't deserve what you have, that you don't deserve what you want to create. And then if that is the case, this is the relationship that teaches you that it doesn't have to be so difficult, and that next time around you can choose something better. Or you can heal. You can choose to heal this relationship into something better, because we always have that free will. We always have that choice. So those are the different paths and the different options for this one. Although, most likely this one actually is a romantic relationship. We're going to get the tarot card advice about this relationship as well. We have the Fool, the Hanged Man, the World, and the Ace of Wands. I'm sorry, the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. So, this actually applies in both situations. We talked about the elements of naivety, as well as not being afraid to be vulnerable in the relationship. That is the energy of the Fool. Being unafraid of new experiences and stepping into new circumstances. We have the Hanged Man. This talks about learning those lessons that we have had to learn through pain, taking some time to sit with them, to absorb them, to find out what that pain meant and how it helped us to grow, to honor yourself more, or to allow yourself to be more vulnerable, whichever the case in that may be. The World. This is the completion of a cycle. So regardless of which path this takes, it means that cycle of pain is ending. The cycle of love and prosperity is beginning, or can begin, or has already begun, depending on where you're at with this. It's the end of that cycle of pain, the beginning of open, loving, self-love, first, but open, loving connections where the path does not have to be so hard. And this card means quickly. This means that the change can happen like that. Whether this is a relationship that's healing, whether you were in a very difficult relationship and this relationship hits and bam, it's like everything just falls into place and it is beautiful, or whether this is the toxic relationship and you need to sever yourself from it, or change what is happening that is making the relationship toxic. The change can happen instantaneously here. There is so much love here. There is so much potential. There is so much beauty. Complete that cycle. Wherever you fall along that path, I know that was a couple different options, and that's because this is a general reading. So depending on who is listening, you're going to know which path is for you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But know that it doesn't have to be so hard. You are allowed to walk the best path for you with the most love. Let the cycle of pain be ended, and the cycle of love be now. Thank you so much for listening to this reading, Pile 2. I hope that helped you today, and that gave you some of the answers that you were looking for. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Hello everyone, welcome to the reading for Pile 3. If you chose the blue heart, this is going to be your relationship reading for why this relationship is in your life, what you are learning and growing from it, whether it be a romantic or a platonic relationship. First, I'm going to lay out the cards for this relationship, and then we're going to dive in and talk about them. For person A, we have the persona of the eternal child, and for person B, we have the persona of the one. For person A, we have the spirit animal energy of the turtle. And for person B, we have the energy of the hummingbird. For person A, we have the emotion being brought out of focus. And for person B, we have fruition, the harvest moon. For person A, what is growing in this relationship, we have healing. For person B, this one was a little bit different. We actually had 2 cards come out for what is growing in this relationship, and that is wisdom and luck. So there's kind of a lot that this relationship is growing for person B. The final card we have here is the 1 card, the overall soul lesson, what both souls are learning from this, and that is, she shall always prevail. Now, this is a really beautiful reading, and I'm going to say first right off the bat, this relationship is one that is most likely to be platonic, a friendship, a connection, a deep soul connection of a relationship. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't be a romantic one, because this very much could be a romantic relationship. But even if it is, the deeper element of connection here is that there's a deep soul connection, and that this relationship is represented by 2 old souls. Both people in this relationship seem like they are very spiritually mature. Even though we have the eternal child here, I'm going to explain that one in just a second. So the 1. Let's start with person B here. The 1 represents the sense and understanding that all things are connected, that all things are one. Person B is a very old soul and a very wise one. Person A has the eternal child, but also the turtle. So person A has this beautiful sense of balance between knowing when to bring in light-heartedness, fun, and light to a situation, and also being very grounded, being very secure within themselves. So person A, the eternal child is, what we come into this world with. It represents all of our greatest potential before the world teaches us, no, you're not good enough for that. No, you can't do that. No, that's not real. It's the truest potential that we come into that sometimes we spend our whole lives trying to get back to and trying to find again. Now, the downside of that can be someone who tends towards a childish nature. That is another interpretation possibility of that. This person could kind of swing in that direction, where person B in that instance is a bit more mature. Person B is also very active. The hummingbird is a very active bird, very creative, is capable of doing a lot of things, and we see that repeated in fruition here. So person A is giving person B a lot of energy, this wisdom and luck. Although person B is very wise, I say that there's a lot of old soul energy involved in this relationship, because person A is also teaching person B. Even though person B comes across as someone who is a very wise old soul, they're still learning a great measure of wisdom from this relationship. And also luck. There's an element of fun, of luck, of creation that is being brought into this relationship for person B. For person A, what's being brought in is focus and healing. So if person A struggles with a little bit of that more childish nature, person B is helping to focus them, helping them to focus their energy and direct it so that it can be more effective, more useful. It can be put to use where they want it to be. It also brings in healing. So even though here I said that person A is a person that's very grounded and secure, this actually can go both ways. This person can be very grounded and feel safe within themselves, or they may sometimes, you'll know if this resonates. So again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, because this is a general reading. There may be different paths that I'm going to describe as I go through this. Person B might have some things that have hurt them in the past. They may have a past that made them feel like they needed to withdraw into their shell, and they may use, that humor, childlike nature in order to kind of cover up for that, as kind of a protection measure for that. Person B is teaching them a deep level of healing. This is not like light surface healing. This is deep soul level healing. Like, this is the healing of lifetimes. Not just one lifetime, of multiple lifetimes. This is deep soul level healing that person B is bringing about to person A. This can be a relationship where person B is almost like a spiritual guide for person A, and is helping them to grow and develop in life and to become the best version of themselves, to be able to direct their energy in the best ways and to feel the security within themselves that they are meant to feel. And it may be that these are both old souls that are helping each other, because again, person A is also helping person B to grow. It's giving them, luck and fruition and harvest, and basically is bringing blessings into their lives that this person did not, this person may not have even realized that they could experience. For some of the people, as I'm reading this, for some of the people, this will be a parent and child relationship where person B is the parent and person A is most likely the child. Where this person is, very active and doing a lot to help raise this person up, to care for them. But that's only going to apply to a small portion of people, I feel like, for this. The card in the middle here, she shall always prevail. This is the one that tells me that this is a soul level healing relationship. This is a deep soul connection. This is a card that basically says no matter what, everything is going to be okay. This is the person that you turn to when you need to know that everything is going to be okay. This is the person you turn to when you need that measure of happiness and security and reassurance in your life. So whether this is a romantic relationship, a family relationship, a friend, a mentor, this is a beautiful, supportive relationship that I'm seeing here. I'm going to pull out the cards that are being shown for this relationship. Our tarot card advice is the Hermit in reverse, the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Page of Pentacles upright, and the Five of Pentacles upright. So what this is saying to me is this relationship is showing you that you do not need to be alone. The Hermit in reverse. You do not need to be alone. That's funny. It kind of echoes this lesson here. That this is the person that you come to know that everything will be okay. This is the person you come to know that you don't have to be alone. The Queen of Wands reversed. You don't always need to be the person to take action. You don't always need to be so strong. You don't have to feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You can lay that down when you're in this person's presence. And physically, things will just happen for you. Here's that measure of luck. Where physically things are just going to happen for you in this relationship. They're going to be given for you, created to you. This could be someone who helps you manifest your dreams, your desires. This could be a business partner with fruition and luck. This could be two people that create a business together and help each other grow and help each other through the struggles and are very successful through it, knowing that they don't have to be alone and that they don't have to do everything. Now we do have the Five of Pentacles here. Normally this is a card of struggle and of hardship, but what I am getting very strongly from this card is that this is the person you come to when you are in a time of hardship. It's not that this relationship causes the hardship, because there's literally nothing here to suggest that in any way. What this is saying is that this is the person you come to when you're having a hard time. This is the person that you come to get through the hard times together, to support you through that. And when life gives you a struggle, when life gives you lemons, this is the person that helps you to fix that. So I hope that this was helpful for you, pile 3. This is a beautiful, beautiful supportive relationship to have. So I hope that as we're talking about this, you immediately know the connection and the person that I'm talking about. Keep that relationship in your life, because that is a soul level connection that that you are blessed to have with you. What a beautiful relationship here, pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time.